And the little light's on. So, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good times, whatever time it is, and wherever you're listening. Joined with me, as always, Mr. Chris Cute.
How you doing, everybody?
And Mr. Alan Robinson.
How you doing, fellas?
And Mr. Joe Whittaker.
You're right, Tom, yeah.
And after a whole weekend of standing around, chatting and pretending to work, it's Jamie Page.
Hello.
We might just get a few audio interruptions because I believe, Jamie, you're currently on an outside broadcast live from UKIWS in Coventry.
Yes, that's right.
It kind of sounds a bit like you are standing on a railway platform trying to do the announcement for when the train's coming in, but we'll just work with what we've got, I think. So,
yeah. All right, mate.
No worries. Well, I'll be back with you in a second. Just our usual quick shout-outs and whatnot for this week. Thank yous, etc. We have Mr. Sterling Davis, Carol over at KK Make, Know What Mum Knows, Wacky Woodworks, Crosscut Creations, Andrew McQuillan, Jim Dockrell, and Ragtie. So big thank you, big shout-out to all those guys and girls who are commenting on our podcast over on YouTube, etc. Don't forget you can listen on all the other platforms as well, including SoundCloud and iTunes. Chris, do we have any random listener questions this week?
We do. We have a quick one that I'll hit real quick because I know we want to get into the UKIWS. But Bob asked us, he says, gentlemen, I know you guys are approaching your 1-year anniversary. Do you guys have anything in your pipeline? Or he says, or to misquote a typical interview question, what do you see yourselves doing in, what, blah, 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 1, 2, 3 years from now? And I will start this by saying, Bob, we are on episode, I believe, 43. And so we have about 7 weeks to go before we're actually going to be 7, 8. No, we got 9 weeks to go.
Yeah.
We're actually on a year. Yeah. So I hate to disappoint you, Bob, but we haven't even friggin' thought about it.
I have. I hope I'm making it.
You're going to go to a different podcast, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm going to making it.
But Richard, I do have an idea. Because between yourself, Jamie, and I, we have had a perfect attendance throughout this whole year so far. So
yeah,
my proposition is that you and Jamie and I take off the 50-second episode and let Joe and let Alan and Joe go ahead and handle it.
Yeah, well, if you did that, nobody would want you guys back if we did that.
Exactly.
Okay. You know what? Then we're definitely taking the 50-second episode off. It's just a suggestion. You guys run with that how you want to.
I would love to do a podcast with just Joe. That'd be hilarious. Joe and I definitely have the dirty minds of the group here. Nobody would be that about Joe.
It'd be very average, though.
I'm watching Alan, as you say that, I'm watching your analytics do this. It's like hey, I don't care, guys, but his question was, gentlemen, do we have anything planned for our 1-year anniversary? And for me, we haven't even talked about it, Bob, so I gotta be honest with you, I don't think so, unless somebody else has thought about it and has an idea. Go ahead, go for it.
Well, I certainly haven't thought of anything, but I guess we could put our heads together and I don't know, come up with an episode. We managed to blag an episode most weeks, so
yeah, we could do the drunken episode of Makers International for the 50th as a celebration.
No editing.
No editing, just raw, uncut, totally R-rated. I guess that's an option.
Well, what we could do is we could throw it back out to the listeners and see what they think.
That's a good idea.
There you go.
What do you want us to do for the 1-year anniversary?
That's not a bad idea. Jamie, I hate to that's better, mate. I know it's just because it's really noisy where you are. That's all. Yeah, and that's completely thrown me. So here we go. It does sound pretty busy where you are, Jamie. So just give us a quick second, and then I can basically work out what on earth it is we're supposed to be doing. So that was our random listener question, I guess, for for this one, was it, Chris?
That's all I had, was what we're going to do for our 1-year anniversary. And the answer was, I don't know. We haven't even thought about it.
No idea. Okay, I guess we better come up with an answer for that then. And
cheers.
Try and get on with the the show as best as possible. Right, so yeah, main topic then this week in UKIWS over at Coventry. I believe it's at the Hilton at the Coventry Hilton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Jamie,
right.
do you want to tell us all about what's been going on over there, mate?
Yeah, it's just UK and Ireland Woodturning Symposium here at the Coventry Hilton. One of the event organisers here, Mr. Templeboy himself.
How are you doing?
We've had him on
Steve.
before. I regretted every minute of it, but he's back again.
Come to talk to you more, Jamie.
How you doing? By the way, Rich, I think we should all join in saying a happy belated birthday to Steve, because Steve celebrated his birthday yesterday. Yeah, you're welcome.
Happy birthday, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's all mine now.
No.
I can remember being a little bit nervous when you came on the show last time, Steve, and I think we just about, by the skin of our teeth, managed to keep it real, as it were. But now you're actually sat next to Jamie. Goodness only knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know who's more nervous, Jamie.
No, I'm not.
No, not me. We're best of friends now.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other four of us would be the nervous ones, to be perfectly honest.
And so you should be.
Yeah, I think so.
And gentlemen, just a word of caution: be careful how you hug each other, because we all know you're in a hotel, and that may get really awkward really quick. So I mean, you know,
if it makes you awkward, that's your problem, Chris.
No, well, yeah, no, you know what? I'll give it to you. You're right. It's my problem, not yours. Because if you're good with it, hey.
He's Coventry after all.
Not Gavin, right? You.
So the show's now finished, I believe. Sunday evening.
It has.
Yeah, it's now
come to a
done and
close,
dusted. How did it all go? Because obviously you guys are kicking around, sort of doing the after party, I guess, in the bar at the hotel. Yeah.
Yes, it went amazingly. It was just as good, and we've even had feedback that it was better this year than last year, which is what we're always aiming to do, is get better every year. Yeah, it was brilliant, and we've even started organising next year's. So it's fantastic. It really did go just as planned, thankfully.
Yeah.
Apart from one demonstration, but we won't mention that.
No, I weren't on the lathe at any point.
I was just going to ask, was that Jamie's demo? I saw a picture, Jamie Dower. What did you make, Jamie?
I didn't make anything. I actually helped out on the Yorkshire British stand.
Yeah, we're brave, but we're not that brave. We're brave enough to have him here, but we won't put him behind a lathe.
The insurance premium just wasn't going to take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So what exactly was the setup then for? I mean, it was I had every intention of coming along on the Saturday, but it just didn't happen in the end because you're only about an hour away.
Well, when you're finished up here, you can come up for a pint.
It's actually quite tempting, to be honest.
More than welcome.
So what have you been doing then?
Okay, so the whole weekend is it's all wood turning. It is a mainly wood turning event. So we have trade stands all that stock and sell anything to do with wood turning and anything to do with processing wood for wood turning. We have sponsors, one of which, our gold sponsor, you will meet this evening, hopefully, Mr. Ed Oliver. We have YouTube stars like Jamie present, and we all just get together and it's...
I think that was a joke.
Oh God, help you. I hope next year's event is much better.
Jamie looks stunned.
It's a symposium, but it's a social symposium, so it's more of a social gathering than your average symposium that you get elsewhere, where not many people know each other. Pretty much we all know each other from Facebook and YouTubes and all that kind of stuff. Right. And so it's like friends getting together and making square stuff round.
Excellent. And because you've been having obviously demonstrations.
Yes.
And I saw.
We have a mixture of professional wood turners demonstrating, and we also have YouTube amateurs or people that aren't on the wood turning circuit come and do public demos as well. And we even had a very special guest this year of the blind wood turner, Chris Fisher.
Yeah.
And he came and demonstrated for us, and he was amazing.
That guy's awesome. But Steve, I have to ask you because Saturday morning was you were the first exhibitioner, were you not?
Yes.
How did that go? And Saturday was your birthday. How did that go, buddy?
Yes. It went anyway. Apparently, it went fine. As much as I can remember.
What time did you go to bed Friday night or morning?
I think it was around 5 a.m.
So you went to bed. So you went to bed at 5 a.m. Saturday morning and woke up and did demo at 10 o'clock in the morning?
No, I went to bed at 5. Yeah. Went to bed at 5 and got up at 7:30 and then demonstrated. At 10.
What did you make?
A mess.
That's my boy.
all over the carpet in the shape of a pizza.
What rating is this show?
No, it's all right. I love it. I knew I loved Steve for a reason. Oh, God love you.
Personal editing, I like it.
Yeah.
So
you were demoing.
Yes. No, it went all right. Actually, it was very good. I finished. We get an hour to turn a particular item. I turned a crotch box. Easy there, lads. Now calm yourself.
I was going to say that's almost as bad as Jamie.
Which is basically a crotch piece of wood, which is 2 branches.
And I actually learned today that it isn't actually as funny as it sounds.
Yes. And I turned it into a box with a lid and a finial, and that was that. I turned it, and we get an hour to turn something.
You know,
start to finish, from raw wood to finished.
Jim Bashir is guys. Jim Bashir is out in the chat. Wants to know: Did you guys get any of this stuff that you guys did on video to where you can show it to people later, or did you just kind of do it for the live audience only?
It's all live. It's all live audience. Yeah. The difficulty of setting up cameras. A lot of cameras. We had 2 cameras on each lathe, and each demo lathe, but to set up more cameras to video that as well, and then to process it, and then to edit it all, it's just a hell of a lot of time. So just buy a ticket, like most people.
In other words, hey Jim, what Steve's trying to tell you is, I'm sorry, buddy, but you got to buy a plane ticket if you want to come here. You want to see it. Way to keep it exclusive, Steve.
Well, Jim doesn't. Jim doesn't, but he's a pilot. He's probably got a plane.
That's true. You could fly a few people over too.
Yeah.
I like to make stuff personal pilot.
Yeah.
But going back to Chris Fisher, I actually got to see the guy at work like face to face today, and man, what an unbelievable talent he is! Just incredible. So as soon as I saw it, I messaged all you guys and just says, like, unbelievable.
He is the definition of inspiration.
Without doubt.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just from his videos, but I can imagine being able to see it in person.
Is it okay if I just give you a bit of background of his history? Have we got time to do that?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Chris wasn't born blind. Chris went to watch a live concert one night, and while he was watching the concert, he started getting blurred vision. And he went to the doctor, and he spoke to the doctor, and the doctor said, look, the bad news is that in 4 months' time, you're going to be completely blind. So he was a grown man with a job, went out to a concert, got blurry vision, and 4 months later, he was completely and totally blind.
Wow.
And I'm not telling you anything that he didn't tell us live at the show, and he said he got very down and depressed about it, as you would. It was a kick to the gut, and it took a time for him to process it, and then he just said, no, I'm not going to let this beat me, and he found a hobby and started doing it. And he's demonstrating all over the place now. It's brilliant.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Jamie messaged us and said that we should definitely have this guy on at some point in time, and I would love to have this guy on the podcast and talk to him about his story. That would be awesome.
Yeah, without doubt.
Is Chris still there, or is he?
No,
he's gone.
He's left earlier, a bit earlier, but I said to him that we'll contact him soon. This is the score. About coming on.
Great.
We should definitely do that. Definitely, and hopefully he'll come on.
Yeah.
So was Chris actually doing?
I'll go and get another guest for you, lads. I'll be back in later on. Okay.
Yeah, no worries, Steve. Okay, we'll speak to you in a second. Jamie, was Chris actually doing like one of the live demos in front of?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. He was doing pens and all sorts. He was. I believe he was turning for. I can't think of the name of the company now. Not Yandles. It was another company.
I'll be there in a minute, Jamie.
What was the name of the company Chris was turning for? Taylor's Murfield.
Right.
Yeah. It was just incredible. The way he was doing everything with smell and feel. It's like he turned a pen kit today that he had never ever put together before, and he just put it together as if it was nothing. And it was just incredible. I mean, David will tell you. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Hey, Jamie, and I want to meet David real quick. But if you would do me a favor and turn around and tell all those drunk Englishmen that are behind you to shut the hell up, I'd appreciate it.
Hey, I was one of them.
But no. You're Danish. You don't count. I mean, those other guys.
No,
I'm sure
I am British.
I'm sure. Okay, whatever. Then just tell the other guys to shut up.
There's no one there now. There's no one there now.
They're gone.
All right. All right. Cool.
But, back to Chris Fisher. He's really made my weekend. I was that amazed by him that I sat with tears in my eyes, because a blind man. Well, I'll ask you a question. How does a blind man know when he's wiped his backside and it's clean?
Yeah.
Anyone answer?
Nope.
I wouldn't even like to think.
I don't think anybody can answer that question.
Yeah. I mean,
well, he did a video, and he's beside the toilet. He's got 20 rolls, and he said, "When I get through them, I know I'm clean."
You know what? God love him because he's got a sense of humor.
Yes, certainly. And he's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
And not only that, his wife, he asked her to turn the car around to back it up to the garage so he could get his stuff with him. And she said, "All right, I'm just going up to the bathroom, and I'll do it when I'm done up there." When she came down, she looked at the car and it was turned round already. She said, "Who moved it?" "Oh, he did." "But how?" "Well, it's got sensors on the front and the back. So every time it started to beep, he stopped and drew backwards. When it said beep, he went forwards."
Oh, nice.
And gradually turned it. So he got the boot up against the garage.
Hey,
and he was in the car.
That's awesome. Jamie, would you do me a favor and properly introduce the gentleman who is talking to right now to the rest of us?
My name is David Dewley. I live in Denmark. I've been there for 49 years. And in Denmark, amongst the wood turners, I'm known as Dr. D, because my first initials are DRD.
All right. Well, hey, Dr. D, how far did you travel to get to this event?
My round trip, by the time I get home, is just under 5,000 kilometers.
So give me hours. How long did it take you to get there?
Well, I'll tell you, when I leave here tomorrow morning at 5:30, I get down to the south coast and I go across to France, and then I've got a 14-hour drive from there.
Okay.
And,
wow.
That means that I will leave tomorrow morning at 5:30, but I'm not home in Denmark until sometime Tuesday morning.
All right, well, no, we're just trying to compare it because when we were down in Atlanta doing this same kind of thing, Alan was asking people how long it took them to get there, and we were wondering. So if you were to drive, it would take you over 14 hours to get to where you are right now. So you went out of your way to come to this event.
I did it last year, and I'll do it this year, and I'll do it again next year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That good of an event.
Yeah, that's a commitment. That is.
And what's this guy's name?
What the one on the end?
Yeah.
That's Joe.
Joe. We met last year.
Yeah, I can remember. It was brilliant. Okay. Yeah, I wish I could have made it this year.
Yeah. Why didn't you?
Too much going on at the minute.
Explain yourself, Joe.
Yeah.
The missus said no.
Let's see.
Fair play. So what were you demoing, or were you just there to enjoy the atmosphere?
I was just here for the weekend, enjoying it, looking at everybody else making a fool of themselves, and generally going around and saying hello.
Brilliant.
And what did you learn while you were there? You must have learned something.
I've learned that if you put a blindfold on and you've got a piece of wood revolving in front of you, you don't dare touch it with a gouge. So how does Chris manage?
Yeah, that takes some stones. That does.
Yeah.
Yeah, without doubt.
This afternoon, when he made his pen, his partner shared 5 or 6 blindfolds round, and we stood there in complete darkness, and while he's turning, and we were almost losing balance. Because, well, you start to sway, because your sight is telling you well nothing. It's just black.
I can imagine. Dr. D, thanks for coming out with us. I appreciate you. You being here.
Martin,
get Martin on.
Yeah. Over to you, Martin. This is, I guess you could say, is the man that got me into wood turning. So it's your fault that you have to go through all the videos.
Martin Saban-Smith, hello.
Martin Saban-Smith, hello.
You're right, Martin.
Hello. Nice to see you. Hello. Hello, Joe. How are you doing?
You're right, mate.
I'm very well. How are you? Good to see you. Is that Richard? Yeah, that's Richard.
Yes,
hello, Richard.
Richard on the end. Oh, we've not actually met before.
Richard, Alan.
We haven't, mate.
No. We're trying to convince Richard to drive up for an hour afterwards.
Not tonight.
Yeah, after the show.
Yeah. I'm sorry you couldn't make it, Richard.
Well, it was a last minute thing whether I might come, and then
right,
and then other things took over, and it was just, as Joe said, loads of stuff going on. So next year, don't organise it on a weekend when I'm supposed to have my daughter, and then it'll all be good.
Well, I know the dates for next year.
Next week?
We'll do it all again next week. Yeah.
So do we want to broadcast an exclusive for people if we've got the man on and we know the dates?
Yeah.
We could.
Yeah.
We do that.
Yeah, I've provisionally booked the hotel. I need to make a few calls around to trade and stuff like that. But we've provisionally booked here for the 30th of June and the 1st of July 2018.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a weekend that I should have my daughter. Actually. But that gives us plenty of time to rearrange. I'm going to put that in my calendar right now.
Yeah, negotiate.
That's Richard's version of putting UKIWS on his watch later list.
No, it's not. It's so not. It's so not.
Richard, just block out the time. Oh my God!
No, it's been a fantastic weekend. This weekend for only our second event as a sort of a wood turning collective, as it were. You know, we've had over 400 people through the door this weekend. And it has just been brilliant. It's like Facebook and YouTube have sort of all rocked up and met each other again. Last year was the first event, and everybody was going around saying, "Oh, it's you! Oh, really nice to meet you!" And then this year, everybody's gone and they've arrived and they've all said, "Hello, mate. How are you? Haven't seen you for a year. How's things?" You know, it's like a family that's all just sort of come back together again to talk about wood turning, spend a bit of money, and have a great time.
That's just the kind of the community all over, isn't it? And, you know, it's not just that, and that's what I love about it. It's not just about the North American side of the community. I mean, that's probably the biggest part.
Yeah.
But you've got all these kind of international aspects, the UK, Europe, and the rest of it. And exactly, and that just proves that it's exactly the same.
Yeah, I learned a lot when I went over to Kansas City a few weeks ago. I learned a hell of a lot, and I've brought some of that back. Some of it I'm going to implement, other bits I'm not. And I'm certainly not going to make the traders start at 7:30 on a Saturday morning like we had to do in Kansas City. That was an absolute killer day. 7:30 in the morning till 6:30 at night. It was just hectic. It was brilliant. It was a fantastic time. But we certainly won't be doing that over here. But there are some very distinct differences between the US symposia and us. The AAW symposium was like, was it $385 for the weekend? Something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, you get international superstar turners, all doing their rotations, and I don't quite fully understand the American rotation system of turning. But over here, and who's this?
That's Chris.
That's Chris. Hi, Chris.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Cheers, by the way. We're charging. It's $18. It'll be $18 to get in per day, and you get 4 or 5 demonstrations included in that price. And if you want to go and see one of the professionals in a masterclass, which would be like one of your rotations, it's another £15. So you do, or $18. So you don't have to see all of the professionals in what you would call a rotation. You pick and choose who you want to go and see, and by doing that, we can keep the price right down.
Yeah, oh, that's awesome, because you're not asking people to pay the full boat to see everything. You're asking them to pick and choose so they have a choice. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. That's actually a fantastic way to do it, guys. Yeah,
it's risky. It's risky. But
yeah.
Oh, I think we might have had some technical.
Yeah, I think we've lost them.
Oh dear, Jamie, if you can hear us, you'll have to jump out and then jump back in again. But I think from what I took away from that, if you're going to pay the full price for a whole show, right, but then only see a few people.
They're back.
Oh, they're back again.
Yeah,
I was just saying, it could be potentially better for the attendees if you can pick and choose, rather than having to pay for everything and then feel like, well, I've paid for everything, I've got to go and see everyone.
Yeah,
that gives you less time to do anything. But also, it means those that do want to see those particular turners, they get more for their money because it's a smaller group, I guess.
Yes, it is. Yeah. There's only up to 50 people in the masterclass, but the professionals that we book to do the masterclasses also do a public demonstration that's included in the ticket price. So today we had Phil Irons and Mark Sanger. Yesterday, Mark Sanger did a public demonstration which was included in the ticket price, but today he did his masterclass, which was very well attended. So you get, depending upon which day you come, you get to see at least one professional turner plus 2 or 3 social media turners. Sorry, I hate doing that. So social media turners for your money. And the public demonstration area is in amongst the trade, so the traders constantly have people milling around. And the rotations or the professional demonstrators don't take people away from the trade, and that works really well. At least it works really well here, and it keeps the atmosphere really nice and intimate, and friendly, and everybody's together. There's no segregation all the time, apart from the 20-30 people that go and see a masterclass.
Sure, and then the traders benefit from that sort of foot traffic as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, it works through. So what traders did you have there? You had Yorkshire Grit.
Yeah, we had Yorkshire Grit. I'm Hampshire Sheen, by the way.
Yeah.
And because I organise it, I can't have my own stand. But Oliver's wood turning.
Who we're hoping to get on here soon.
Ed Oliver.
Yeah, Ed Oliver.
He's outside somewhere. Yeah, Oliver's wood turning, Charnwood, Taylor's Murfield, the pen guys, a timber chap called Martin Pigeon, who has the most amazing timber. No website, you've got to give him a ring and he'll tell you exactly what he's got. He's amazing. Excuse me. Wood Art Products, they do some amazing pyrography machines and also rotary tools, drilling type, like a Dremel but more powerful. Yep. James Barry was here yesterday with his sharpening stuff. Axminster Tools and Machinery, they very generously sponsor the demonstrators lathes. So we had two of the 1628 trade lathes, plus the small pen, turning trade lathe, which was on the Taylor's Murfield stand. Woodock, they're a finishing company, finishing and colouring kind of company. They were here. Charnwood, they do. Charnwood do kind of
machinery,
and slightly more advanced than hobby standard lathes and equipment and stuff like that. Next one, then Leon Britton, he's got some amazing wood as well. He's just getting up his
like segmenting pieces. And
Leon makes segmented bowl kits. So you actually buy the rings that are pre-glued, or you buy the individual segments that have already cut, and then you make up your own kit from that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It is a really cool idea. Who else was there? I've forgotten. I know I organised it, but I've forgotten.
I know. I was drunk.
Oh yeah, Dalman UK. Yeah, Dalman UK. They bring over exotic woods from Mozambique, from also responsibly sourced timbers and stuff, and also Simon Hope with his hollowing systems and his sanding systems and stuff like that.
So I'm just assuming, and not having been there, I'm just assuming there was a plethora of things for people to look at, and possibly. Oh yeah, and so besides the demonstrations, there was a very nice marketplace people could shop in.
We've tried to keep the trade down to no more than 3 of each. So there's only 3 timber suppliers. There's just 3 of each really. So we keep everybody, all the trades cover a different aspect of turning, and this is a turning specific website. So you're not allowed to bring in a plane or anything like that. It is purely turning. If you can't use it for turning, it's not welcome. Frankly.
Well, Martin, while we have you on, I want to go ahead and open it up to our audience that's watching right now and listening. If you guys have any questions for Martin, please ask them now, because I know he doesn't have a lot of time with us, and at some point we're going to have to move on. So please, if you have questions, ask them now, and we can huddle up with us now.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say thank you very much for having me on this evening. Sorry, that's very rude of me. Thank you for having me on.
To be honest, you're doing us a favour because you're limiting Jamie's exposure. So that's.
If you like. I'll trying to get rid of me since day one.
That's cool. It's been it really has been a superb weekend, and we will be doing it again next year, I'm sure.
400 people through the door. That's over both days, is it?
Over the weekend, yeah.
So which was the busier of the 2 days? Saturday, Sunday?
Saturday, because last year I stupidly put the Sunday of the event on Father's Day. And this year, I stupidly put the Sunday of the event on the men's finals at Wimbledon and the British Grand Prix. So next year, I have already checked. The Sunday, the 1st of July, is neither of those days, because the British Grand Prix is the week after, and the finals weekend is the weekend after that. So hopefully we're good.
I've got no concept of why people are interested in watching people hit a ball over a bit of string with a bat anyway, so that's not something that would affect me.
Yeah. No, well, Martin, I'm afraid to tell you that either our audience is asleep or they're just in awe that you are here and they don't know what to ask. So I have no questions. Yeah. I have no questions from the chat.
That's all right. It's either that or I've done such a good job of explaining it. I've answered all possible questions anyway.
There you go.
Let's go with that one.
So we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on and joining us, and obviously telling us about what's been going on and all the rest of it. And,
yeah, it's my pleasure. Who would you like next? Do you want me to see if I can find Mike Walt, who's our founding father?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Drag anyone in that's willing to sit down. Strangers just staying for the weekend will do.
Right, I'll go and find him. Thank you very much, guys. Nice to talk to you.
Thanks, mate.
Be good, man.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Just me now.
Oh no! So what have you been doing, then, Jamie? Apart from spending all your money on,
I picked up a few little goodies while I've been here. I've got some new drawers for my chucks while I was here. So, there he is.
Just getting mic'd up in the corner.
There goes Mr. Ed Oliver.
Hello all. Ed,
Right, I'm here.
Hello, Ed.
All right.
Yeah, all right,
man. How are you?
Good. Gold sponsor of UKIWS. It's been a fantastic weekend again. Sad that a lot of people have missed it. Hopefully next year we'll get a bit more enthusiasm from wood turners that need to come and see what a great thing UKIWS is.
I have to say 400 people in is actually more than I thought it would be in the UK area.
Yeah, it's good for the UK.
It's a lot bigger than I thought it was, you know?
Yeah, look, it's really good for the UK. We're nowhere up to what the States can attain in a symposium, but it's building and it's very enthusiastic. So we're going to go.
Yeah, it's slowly growing, isn't it?
That's what I was going to say, Ed. I mean, you're looking at 400 people this year. How does that compare to last year? Because obviously this is only your second year running, isn't it?
I think the numbers were slightly up this year. The second year is always more difficult because the first year it's, wow, this is it. The second year is just a sustainable number. And where we'll see what's going to happen with UKIWS really is the next year, 2018. There'll be some tweaks probably this year. And then next year, I think we'll see if UKIWS can really start to grow. My gut feeling is I can reckon we could see 500-600 people in 2018.
I mean, what's the max capacity you've got in the hall for any one time?
At the venue we're doing at the moment, I believe the capacity we can come into the Hilton is around about 800 people.
Okay.
So
you're heading in the right direction, though.
Yeah, and if we can get to there, I'm sure Martin and Steve, with a little team, they're going to put a team together, we can take on a bigger venue. But it's small steps, slowly. It will take a few years.
Yeah, I mean that's like anything that's sort of new, I guess. You've got that sustainability, and obviously the 400 people that came this year, no doubt will go back to their clubs and environments and start telling other people about it, and word will spread, and then you'll get more people next year.
Hopefully, yeah. The event has been well run. There's a lot of fun. It's a real fun atmosphere, and I think that will encourage, and that's exactly what happened. You know, two people will be coming from one person saying how good it is. So yeah.
Excellent. And were you demonstrating over the weekend, or were you just sort of running around going?
No, I've got the main stall in the middle of the hall selling the tools. So the best I do is I demonstrate the Pro Edge working. For me to go off and demonstrate for 3 hours means that my wife and a couple of guys that are helping me will be inundated with the people that are coming, and they're asking questions about tools, how you use tools, and I'd sooner be helping fellow wood turners on factual matters about what we use, how we use them, how to apply finishes and that sort of thing.
Sure, and that's the one thing I mean, I used to be part of a wood turning club down in Ely in Cambridgeshire.
Okay.
Before I moved away, and the one thing that I sort of took away from the wood turning community is the willingness to just help other people at every little step. So something like this. I mean, and I'm no wood turner by any stretch. Probably slightly more a wood turner than I am a scroll sawer, but you know, I'm certainly no turner. But from just speaking to people that are turners, that willingness to want to share information and help other people just completely backs up what you just said about wanting to be on the stand, talking to people rather than actually turning.
Yeah, I've learned turning from a lot of people. I've trained with some of the top people in the country, but it's useful to help other turners because it's such a small community.
You know, and I am so happy that you are first of all a sponsor of this event, and that you have apparently done well. But I have to totally break character at the moment, and I have to ask Jamie. Jamie, who is the English version of Mr. Clean who keeps photobombing you guys right behind you? Who is that guy in the black shirt that is absolutely bald because he keeps popping in and smiling, and it's cracking me up.
I'm not sure what his name is.
Because I don't know. Because if he wants to get on camera, for God's sake, bring him in because the man is just killing me.
I'm not sure what his name is.
Okay, whatever. I just keep seeing him look over your shoulder and he's smiling. He's like,
I do recognize him, but I don't know what his name is.
Oh well,
just turn around and ask him what he's doing, Jamie.
Yeah, just pull him in and say, hey, do you want a shrimp or a drink or something? I mean, for crying out loud.
Hey, come on, say hi.
I think you're getting the evil eye now, Jamie. Welcome along. Everyone's welcome.
I don't know who he is, but I love him. I love him.
We don't know who he is either.
I love the guy.
With that now.
Bless him.
All right,
everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome in.
Richard, take over. I'm sorry.
No.
I had to go there. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's all good. I mean, again, it just goes to show what Ed was saying a minute ago. It's a small community, but it's a very open and helpful community. The show finished, 4 o'clock today?
4 o'clock.
So it's been over for 6 hours, and there is still people milling around, chatting, drinking, staying the night. You know, just because the doors have closed, the environment's still open.
Yeah, the community here is strong. There's a lot of people that have stayed. They'll go in the morning, so we're sharing a beer this evening and telling stories and having some fun. It's great. It's not just wood turning. This is about people.
Yeah,
and that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, you've got people that are travelling a fair old distance as well. I mean, Denmark and presumably everyone that's kicking around now still have got quite long journeys back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on your journey time, but there's people here that are 4 or 5 hours drive to get back, so they said I'll drive in the morning. Yeah, so we are attracting people in from around Europe, mainly from the UK, but I think this will build and we'll get more and more people coming. I think the danger is if it was to get too big, because the venues here wouldn't support that number of people.
Yeah. It'd end up at the NEC all the time.
That's right, and the NEC is not a venue for wood turners, really, but it's impersonal, and we want the personal feeling, the friendship.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've always got the Rico just over the way, haven't you? That's a slightly smaller but bigger venue.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not from the area, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they have trade shows at the Rico as well. So it's bigger than where you are now, but it's not NEC size. Maybe something to think about.
Yeah, something to talk to Martin and Stephen about.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us, Ed. It's great to speak to you. I always hate saying kind of cheerio to people, but obviously we are limited on time, and I'm desperate to get Mike on and say hello to Mike.
Yeah, will do.
Not in the little boys' room, but you too, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Take it.
I'm not sure where Mike is.
Joe, you know the Rico relatively well, don't you? Because in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I've been a couple of times. It's a much bigger venue. I went to a couple of shows there, but there's actually like technology shows. I haven't been to a woodworking or a power tool exhibition there. There was always like tech demos. But yeah, it's a massive. It's a stadium. It used to be home to Coventry City Football Club. That's since been taken over by others now. But yeah, it'd be great for an event like that.
Yeah. Jamie, have we found Mike?
We're not sure where he is at the moment.
Oh, right, okay.
Getting a beer somewhere now, Mike.
Fair enough. Well, I know it's. I think anyone listening can hear just how crazy it is where you are.
Yeah, it is. Well, anyway, I'll carry on where I left off. I've actually bought a new set of jaws for my chuck, which means I can do kind of smaller pieces.
Right.
Now, without having to worry about the size of my jaws.
We're all worried about the size of your jaws, mate.
Yeah, and they don't stop going.
Well, Joe, think about that for a second. There's a punchline there somewhere, buddy.
Mike's just coming now. I've obviously bought some intrinsic colours from Hampshire Sheen, and I bought the high gloss. I won some micro mesh in the raffle as well, and so he's Mr. Mike Wolf.
Nice one.
I'll get it for you. There you go. It's cool when you don't have anything else for the weekend. I might as well do that for you.
They've all got very small heads here.
It's like you just put them around the back. They go on.
Oh, that's brilliant.
All right, mate.
Where's the mic then?
Yeah, there it is. You just
look and talk. That's the same as mine.
Just look and talk.
Hello, Richard.
Hello, Mike. How you getting on?
Oh, yeah.
You're right, mate.
Who's that? It's Chris.
Yeah, you got Chris, Joe.
Q.
How you doing, Mike?
Chris. All right, mate. How are you?
Alan.
Oh, it's like Richard Morley. You're going to see him.
Richard Morley.
No, I'll disappear off there.
James C.
Chris Q.
Who's that? Don't know him.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, that's Dave Capasandon. No, it's Jamie Page. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
that's me.
Are you well?
Yeah.
Very well. What have you been doing this weekend, Mike? Are you demoing, or have you just been milling around and?
Yeah, I've done a couple of demos and milling around and talking and drinking. A lot of drinking, unfortunately. Diet Coke and orange juice.
Diet Coke.
My favourite drink, Campari and soda. What? Sorry. So what's on? I feel like a fish out of water because all you are expert flat workers. Flat workers.
I don't think any of us are expert anything.
Not normally, but I thought I had to say that really. Just to be kind.
You was just being polite.
That's fair enough. But...
Sorry, Chris, I didn't hear that.
No, I said you were just being polite. I said thank you very much.
Yeah, it's not something that's characteristic, really.
Obviously.
I tell you what, that guy's laugh, it really does crack me up.
Is that Chris?
Yeah. He actually sounds genuine when he laughs, which is good. So, what's going on? I mean, we've had loads going on here. What's going on with you guys?
Well, very, very little going on with us. But we want to know what's been happening in Coventry.
I tell you what, it's been superb. It's the second year, obviously, and it has been attended extremely well. A little bit less, I think, today than last year. I'm going to be honest with you, because of a small event up the road called the Formula One Grand Prix final day at Wimbledon, which I think is rugby. I don't know if it's rugby orientated or football. It's pretty big.
Tennis. Tennis.
It's tennis, is it? Oh,
Close.
right, okay.
It's all over balls.
I think I really know because I've been once. Anyway, yes, but it's been great, and we had really good attendance, good trade attendance. The atmosphere has been brilliant. Luckily enough, not one person attended from the pond, which is what we were a bit worried about. I mean, we had the security gates and we had the visa passport control there, but it was all not necessary because Chris didn't turn up.
I can just about make out what you're saying. Hopefully everyone else can as well. But Jamie, the mic's gone a bit crazy again like it did before.
Yeah.
You've broken it.
How's that?
I don't know.
We can hear Steve's laughing.
Yeah.
Is it just me that's hearing this, or are you guys hearing it as well?
No, I'm hearing it as
crackly,
well. Yeah, he's breaking up a little bit.
We've
But
got
you know
10
what?
minutes anyway.
Yeah, he made it this far, so I'm impressed with that, Jamie. So congratulations, buddy. You did what we didn't think you were able to do.
I'll just change it back.
The audio's bad, but is
that
visuals okay? Yeah.
That's better.
Right,
Visuals are fine.
Yeah.
You're good now. You're good now.
You are both visible. Yeah.
Sorry, I mean, not that way. I meant victory.
You're rocking.
No,
Go for it.
I did mean that actually. But on second thoughts, Chris, I didn't actually mean that. I meant that because you ain't worth.
No, I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Trust me, I know what you meant.
I just got a high five from Chris.
Thank goodness this is only live for now. We can edit the rest, and it's all an audio.
For those of you who are wondering, the Michael just gave me the Italian salute. There you go.
Yeah. No, if it was the Italian suit, I'd been going backwards as I did it.
Yeah. Oh, now he's pulling the Winston Churchill and doing the V for victory thing. Yeah, it's like, okay. All right, I got you.
Good. So you've been demoing a bit of milling around.
I've already said that already.
Yeah, yeah. Are you working next year as well on this, or?
I haven't done any work this year at all. I was out with the organisation. It's completely Martin and Steve and the other guys. All I've done is basically turn up, say a few words to a few people, meet and greet, butcher a bit of wood, get drunk at night, get up late in the morning, and go home tomorrow. So it's been a pretty good gig, really.
Sounds like a proper time to me.
Yeah, I've got no stress, nothing.
Yeah.
But the main thing is that I completed the demo without actually breaking it, which is a big plus for me.
Well, I was actually going to ask whether it went all right, because I understand you had a little bit of an issue last year, didn't you, with your demoing?
Yeah, are you going to? You said you're going to edit the video before it goes out on the.
Yeah, we will.
This is to Morley. Individually. Yes, so I had a bit of an issue. Yes, I did. I put it down for the poor wood I was using and the extremely poor quality steel chisels. But nobody believed me.
So what did you make this year?
A one-piece goblet.
One-piece goblet.
Yeah, a one piece. Last year was 2 pieces, and I don't like to say you wouldn't know this because you're not really into the wood turning world. But I'm known, I could say honestly, worldwide to be a hater of segmenting. Not the finished product, but the actual act of segmenting. Which is a bit like
the glue up process.
The cutting, the glue up process.
Yeah.
And the taking it apart and gluing it again and trying to get it nice, and so I'm not into that. So my contribution to the segmenting world was to break the goblet last year, but everybody thought I did it by accident, but I didn't. It was a PR job, basically.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, that's fine. So, but this year I couldn't do it. I wasn't good enough, so I completed the project without any mishaps. So no, they're not asking me back next year because I'm not entertainment anymore.
I've actually got a 20-minute video of Mike doing the goblet today. It was very, very entertaining.
Not the turning, just me,
No, and a turning.
Was it the bit when I brought the blow-up sheep on stage? Do you think that was entertaining?
Yeah,
You wouldn't know this, Chris, but I'm Welsh. Well, you might know. I'm Welsh, you see, and I come from Wales, which is sheep intense. Not as good, we.
Mike, all I need to know is that you're better than Jamie, and that's fine with me. That's cool.
You're not interested in my sheep liaisons. That doesn't interest you at all.
Well, not that I wouldn't be interested. Just yeah, okay. I don't want to hear about it.
No, I'm not going to tell you. I just wonder whether you're interested because I could just. I'll send you over a PDF, and
If you could throw it,
somewhat of an instruction manual.
if you could throw it into a SketchUp file to where I could make it, I'd be happy.
I don't do a SketchUp, but I sent the file to Carl because he was very interested. Carl Jacobson.
Yeah. Oh no, Carl.
Right.
If you get this file, do not send it to me. Do not send it to me.
Cow.
You sure? But Izzy's got it as well. And Izzy's actually going to make a working mechanical replica because you know he's good at doing things like that.
Right.
The dinosaur thing is old hat now, so he's going to do a sheep, fully mechanical. Anyway, going back to wood turning and flat wood.
I'm gonna mute myself. You guys have fun.
Excellent.
I haven't upset. He's smoking.
It's all good. So you've been busy this weekend, Timmy, on the symposium side of life.
Yeah.
What have you been doing during the week? With everything else, have you been watching any YouTube videos or anything like that?
I haven't had a chance to personally, mate. No. Have you had any chance to watch any YouTube videos?
No, I've been working, unfortunately.
I honestly haven't had any chance to be honest, mate.
I've got about 60 odd videos. Seriously, I've got to watch when I get home. So
are they in your watch later list as well?
Yeah, I was going to watch all of yours, but I put more in my watch later list.
I can sympathise with that for sure. But fair play. Well, what about?
What I tell you, I can promise though is I had an idea for a parody of Joe's While the Glue Dries, which will be recorded as soon as I get home.
I don't know whether to be excited or nervous.
Nervous.
I think probably the latter. Yeah.
Not that I know anything about it, honestly, but whatever he does, I'd be nervous about.
I think that's the right way.
Well, what about you then, Joe? Have you been busy working on radiator covers, beds, while the glue dries, or anything
All
like
of the
that?
above. All of the above, really. But I did get a chance to watch some YouTube videos, and one that stood out to me was from Keith Decent. Now, the channel is under his name as well, so you can easily find that on YouTube. And he recently did an ice cream sandwich chandelier, and his choice of materials, the way he built it, the video, everything about it is just amazing. It looks exactly like an ice cream sandwich, and I think his choice of materials was spot on, using like chipboard for the biscuits of the sandwich. It looked perfect with all the different textures, but right down to the way he built it, it'd be how I'd go about building it. Like, it wasn't over complicated or anything. It all got the job done, and it looked perfect, and it's just well worth a watch. So check that out, the ice cream sandwich by Keith Decent.
Fantastic. I'm sure we get Jamie to put all the links down and on the website and stuff like that. So we've had to mute Jamie, unfortunately, because it's just so hectic in the background there. He's nodding away merrily, so hopefully you can hear us. So,
yeah, I can.
Oh, brilliant! Excellent, excellent. So, Chris, have you been working on anything, or got videos coming out? Been watching videos, or anything like that?
Well, yeah, I have a video coming out on Thursday. I just put one out today, but if this is being heard on SoundCloud or iTunes, I put it out on Sunday, and it was just I just threw it out there because it was a quick experiment for a friend of mine that I did. But who I've been watching, and you know what, guys, I totally missed the boat on this, and I don't know how I missed this. If you haven't seen this, then go back and just take a look at it, because if nothing else, it's just kind of cool because it's two really nice guys just sitting down talking about the craft. And it's Izzy Swan put out a video a while ago, about a week ago, that he had the opportunity, because he was upstate New York, to sit down and talk with Jimmy DiResta inside Jimmy's shop, because Izzy was up there doing a shoot with Arbortech, and while he was there, Jimmy allowed them to do the shoot at his place up in New York, and they just sat down and talked for about 20 minutes, and it's just a really cool video to watch. So if you haven't had an opportunity to check it out, go to Izzy Swan's channel and check it out. He did a maker's interview with Jimmy DiResta, and it was really just enjoyable to watch. So that's my shout out for this week. If you haven't seen it, and I know a lot of people already have, but just on the off chance that you haven't, there you go. Check it out. That's Izzy Swan and Jimmy DiResta. How can you beat that? That's the two people that you obviously know.
Absolutely, yeah. That's I have seen that video, and it's nice to actually you can have it on in the background and listen to, as well as actually sit down watch. So
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. If anyone hasn't noticed that one, it's worth a listen and a watch. How about you, Alan? Are you busy working on anything, watching, etc., etc.?
All of the above. I'm actually going to save what I'm working on until next week when the project is complete. I did want to let you know, Richard, though, I do listen when you speak, and I did go and get that 1/4-inch plexiglass, which did work out very well for me. But we'll see when I put a lid on it. Well, we'll talk about that next week. But who I've been watching, William Lutz. We always love him. He did a video on how to turn angle grinder into a bench grinder, and it was one of those videos that it's just so simple and obvious that why didn't I think of it? It really reminded me of Chris's video about putting a mirror on the backside of your table saw. I did that like the day I saw that video, and I've been using it ever since, and it was just so freaking obvious. Why haven't I done it? So William Lutz, how to turn your angle grinder into a bench grinder. I'm sure many people have already done it. I don't know why I didn't think of it, but go check it out if you haven't.
Yeah, awesome video. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Excellent. I was actually listening to the Reclaimed Audio podcast, and he mentioned it on that. I didn't realise he'd actually released the video, but I did hear that it was.
I think it was just this morning or last night.
Excellent. Well, Jamie, whilst you're still there and on the go, please make sure. I didn't get a chance to say cheerio to Mike before he probably darted off to the bar again. But to Mike and Steve and Ed and everyone that's there, make sure you send them our regards and thank them for.
Yeah, will do, mate.
Even that complete stranger that just didn't seem to want to be on the show. Make sure that you
all right. I'll go.
Smiling.
Yeah.
Tell the English version of Mr. Clean that we love him.
Yeah, will do.
Wicked. This last week I've been insanely busy. If anyone's been following my Instagram or other social medias, I've been working on just loads of rotten. It seems to be that time of the year everyone wants to replenish their rotten window frames. So I've been doing sash windows, French doors, casement windows, door frames, and all sorts of things up and down the country for people. So they're all on my social medias. No videos put out. I have still got a load to edit and all that sort of stuff. But I'm going to be really busy the next few weeks. But I'm going to try, rather than doing a video, I'm going to give Instagram stories a go. I don't really use it, haven't used it in the past. If anyone does, I think it's a bit like Keek in a way, like short videos for stuff. So keep an eye out for those. And my shout out this week, because I haven't been watching, I've been so busy. One thing that everyone's going to know about, by the time this video comes out, season 7 of Game of Thrones will have aired. So my shout out is the trailer for season 7. I'm really excited. I actually found time.
Richard, I just want to congratulate you on keeping the theme of the maker thing going on, man. Because that is just awesome. And yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
There's a lot of male nudity in that show.
Oh, there you go, lady.
That as well. If it's any consolation, if I can find a segue, I did manage to make early evening turn into very early morning, because I got up to season 5 on DVD and I had to binge watch season 6 prior to season 7 coming out, so I'm all up to date and refreshed in my mind as to what was going on. So.
Cole Jackson just made a dragon egg from Game of Thrones.
Oh, there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, Jamie, thank you for providing Richard with a proper segue, because the one he offered up, it sucked.
It was pretty poor. Yeah. So yeah, go and watch Carl's video, because that is awesome. The Game of Thrones dragon egg, fantastic. Cheers, Jamie. Joe, there's a bit of an edit there for you, Joe.
Yeah. No, leave it, Joe. Leave it.
Yeah, obviously he's gonna leave it. Cool. I think that's probably a good place to kind of end the show. Where can everybody be found on their social medias, Joe?
Can be found at Average Joe's Joinery on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and Average Joe's Photography on Instagram.
Wicked, Chris.
Chris Cute, everywhere you want to look for me. Yeah, I am there. I'm just not responsive on some media. So that's all. Next person.
Alan.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, The Woodworking Junkie.
Wicked. And a bug just flew past me. Jamie?
You can find me on You can find me on YouTube at JP Woodwork, Twitter and Instagram at JP_Woodwork.
Wicked. And you're still sorting out all the Makes International dots?
Yeah, makeinternationalpodcast.com is where you can also find all our social media links under the title hosts.
Wicked.
Jamie, have a great time, buddy. I know you're sitting in a great spot, so good for you, man. I hope you had a great weekend.
No worries.
I think you're going to be the most sober person in the bar, actually, because you spent this whole hour not drinking.
Yeah.
Go fix it.
Wicked. Magic. Well, I've been Rick Morley. You can find me at brainfizz.uk and under my name on YouTube. And obviously, as Jamie's also said, you can find me under the host section on the podcast website as well. So, thanks for everyone for sticking with us this long and listening in. And you have a great week and you take care.
All right, everybody, have a great week.
See you next week.
Take it easy, everybody.
Have a week.